right, welcome to another hot episode, hot moment with Common Hood. I'm your host, Simon P. But today, I have my partner, my young stunner, my collaboration, the man that had brought this idea that I had together. Without him, it wouldn't be a Common Hood. Mr. Nehemiah.
How you doing, Mr. Harris?
Dynasty Solutions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Give us a little backdrop, man, on how you got to Dynasty Solutions.
Yeah, so short story. I had a company called Dynasty Websites. I still have it. We build websites for businesses. And outside of that, we would also do photography, videography, digital marketing, stuff like that for our clients. And so one day, one of the clients that I had was this guy named Keelan Cox. And as he's leaving out, he started doing his own branding. He had the Cox team logo shirts and stuff like that. He's a realtor. And so I had complimented his shirt. And he was like, yeah, you need to get one of your own. Start branding yourself, man. He's like, Dynasty Solutions, right? And so I'm the type of person like Nehemiah, even that. Tell people my name Nehemiah, like Jeremiah, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Because I don't like correcting people. Say, hey, whatever you said, that's cool. I mean, Neil, yeah, whatever you said. So when he said Dynasty Solutions, I was like, yeah, that's what it is. And what ended up happening is probably 2 weeks later, I had a client that had reached out to me and was like, oh, I didn't know you did video. I didn't know you did this. I didn't know you did that, because it says Dynasty Websites. I thought all you did was websites. And I was like, it's me. I'm the business. I'm the brand. So anything I do, I can do under the company. And so I kept having those conversations with people, explain to them it's called Dynasty Websites, but I can do other stuff. And so I got tired of doing that. And I said, you know what? I remember what Keelan said. I'm just going to change the name to Dynasty Solutions. So I started another company called Dynasty Solutions that just encompassed everything else beyond websites. So now I still own Dynasty Websites, and we build websites and do SEO for clients. But Dynasty Solutions handles all the marketing, video production, and regular digital media type things.
Well, when we met, when you explained all those different talents you had, I was like, this is somebody that might can help me just get my word out. And through Common Hood, all I want to do is just have a platform to say, hey, I control my own media. They say we don't control media, but podcast gives you opportunity to control your own media.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it'd be 1 subscriber or 1,000, but I'm trying to get out a message. And through meeting you, one of the things that held me up from podcasts was just all the technology that you mentioned. The photography, the video. And I'm already, even though I have an iPhone, that's the only technology that I pretty much use. Yeah. And to be real with you, I use a GPS to see where I'm going, and I'm still this the phone section and maybe a few apps that you use. So when I had an opportunity to meet you, I was like flabbergasted when I shared with you what I was trying to accomplish. And as equally as flabbergasted when you said you was looking for more space.
Yeah.
And at that point, I feel like this is the perfect time for an older gentleman like myself to connect with young talent and say, hey, I happen to have some space available and you more than welcome. And the day one you said, hey, let's do this. Wow, it's been a fast month or two already. Yeah. And I'm so excited about it because the idea of you having that this is the Gainesville podcast studio and you testing with me in order to help not only share your knowledge, that if I want to learn it, you're there for me, but it's just been an overall great experience of seeing how you put things together. And I'm glad to know that we're going to have an opportunity to share you with the world.
Yeah.
To let them know that, hey, if you got a voice you want to get out, just let Dynasty Solutions set it all up. And all you have to do is, like me, get in the chair, speak your mind, and let him do everything from the editing, from the lighting. It's been a wonderful experience, and I hope more people get involved with what you're doing because you are providing, as they say, solutions, and dynasties are getting built. Yeah. Through you, and that's how I feel about the brand Common Hood with the podcast. So, being that you're from Gainesville and I'm from Gainesville, give us a slight vision on what you think you're trying to do for the world to see Gainesville.
Yeah, so like I said, I have a background in digital marketing, and I've worked with a lot of clients, and a lot of them being local clients because, I serve the local community. And what I would see a lot of times is they would start a business that really is a local business for the local community. And when they start to do their marketing or SEO or any of those things, and this is great, they have a big vision, but they totally miss the target. So when they start to advertise and stuff, they're thinking, okay, I want my brand to reach all the way to Texas, New York, all that. Great. I'm glad that you got big vision, big mindset. I was like, but first, you're overstepping the first part that I believe is important. It's local domination. Be the
Local
best.
domination.
Yeah, be the best where you are. You know what I mean? And then expand from there versus like, let me be from Gainesville and try and be the best in Texas. It's like, I ain't even the best where I am right now first.
Right.
So
right.
for me with starting the Gainesville podcast, I really wanted to embody that same thing I've always teach other people is like, be the very best in your local community and then grow and expand from there. So with us, we could have said, hey, we're going to build a podcast business and we're going to take it all over the world. And indeed, I intend to do that is take the same model and place it in different markets and do the same thing. So we have that big vision, but we want to steward the opportunity very, very well in the sense of we are in our local community. We want to serve our local community. We're not putting Gainesville on the back burner. We're putting you first and foremost, saying that you're our community. This is where I'm from. This is the community and the people in the community who I want to serve and help them grow their businesses, grow their brands. And from there, once we dominate the local market, we'll go ahead and take this same system and this same model and we'll implement it in other markets to where someone doesn't have to drive all the way to Gainesville, but you can get that same quality and get that same delivery in a city closer to you.
Right. And when you said the word dominate, when we first engaged in conversation, I didn't take it as being an arrogance. I just said it made sense. So when I had the vision of podcast, like I said, I wasn't doing Facebook. Wasn't doing IG. I just was like, hey, I'm detoxed from all of that. But the podcast made me say, this may be something that I could branch out to other markets. And one of the things that intrigued me when you said dominate, I thought the biggest thing is, okay, the Go podcast, it seems like it's all about algorithms. It's all about going viral real quick. But you made me feel comfortable when you say, no, hey, just get your content and let's just find your voice.
Yeah.
Let's not worry about everything outside of Gainesville. Let's just find your voice. At the end of the day, no matter how much you may be a hermit, kind of closed in or stay boxed into yourself, more people know you in Gainesville than anywhere else. And then it is our hometown, which is a blessing to have with you because you're from here.
Yeah.
So you understand the challenge that we have coming from a small market. But I just like the idea of saying, hey, let's just be the first and we can do it together. Mm-hmm. And that teamwork collaboration to me was just so instrumental because, Robert Kiyosaki and any rich guy, any person, they always tell you that you work hard, but to get to another level, you need a team. And when I say you filled in the voids that I didn't have of this technology, having someone my younger that say, hey, I got all this. I was like, well, you need a space? I got the space for you. So to bring that energy together, Gainesville, I'm telling you right now, this is in the beginning phases. I know without a shadow of a doubt that Common Hood is going to be a top podcast. And if it goes to the top, it's because I'm with this young man right here, Mr. Nehemiah Harmon, over Dynasty Solutions. And so far, it's been a perfect ride, and we're going to keep that ride because we both are listening to each other. I think that's another thing that I've picked up from you, as a OG that would say, oh, the young people now don't listen. Not with this guy. He listened to your problems, and he tried to provide you a solution. And if he don't answer that day, get a brain a little time to think, and he'll come back with an answer. And for me, it's been a huge blessing that I'm just looking for great content, and I'm not looking for the algorithms, even though I don't know what all that stuff means. The virals, I know all that. I don't know what all that stuff means at the moment, but it stuck with me. Say, hey, if you just create content and you find your voice, I will help you get it out. Just sit back, just talk.
Yeah.
And accept the criticism if I see something that need to be corrected, and we work together. So for Gainesville and beyond, we all could be reached at a local level, even if from a broad level with the email and your Zoom calls. And I'm still trying to get on my Zoom information. That's a new way to sell now, but to have you with your idea and to have you to make it easy, I'm going to be behind you 100%, as you make me feel like it's been a 100% venture so far. So with Dynasty Solutions, you mentioned you started out with websites, and I'm just going to break down each one. So what do we get out of you with websites?
I want to say one thing to touch on something that you said, and then I'm gonna answer that question. As you were talking, you mentioned collaboration and talking about being a team. And one thing I've learned is that you never grow as big as your dream; you grow as big as your team. So you gotta have the people in place. You can have a big vision, because I'm a person with big vision. You're a person with big vision.
Oh, yeah.
But we've both had experiences where our vision was bigger than the team that we had. So you have to have that framework in place in order for it to grow. If you don't have the framework that can actually sustain the growth, everything implodes. So you definitely have to have
that foundation.
have the collaboration and allow the right team members to come apart, so you can actually grow that big dream and that big vision. So that's just a tip for everybody out there. And then to talk about where we start with Dynasty websites, everything that we create. I don't believe in reinventing the wheel. I do believe in innovation, meaning that I'm going to take something that works and I'm going to find a way to make it better. So one of the ways that if you are a business owner, you go out and you get a website, you have two options, right? You could build it yourself with a lot of the platforms, but generally speaking, if you don't have enough to building things like that, you're not going to build something that's actually quality. So you build something, but it's not as professional as you'll want it to be. And the truth of the matter is, when it comes to websites, that is your first impression to clients. So when you have a website that doesn't look professional, they're going to assume the product that you're selling them or the service that you're selling them is not as professional.
Well, what do you say today? Like a website. I come from the business card area, so I still look at website. It's just a business card.
Yeah, to me,
that's going live, and everybody see it, and it's just a business card.
Yeah, I do not disagree with that. I think in its most simplest terms, I explain it that way to people as well, that it is just your business card. It's to establish legitimacy. When you have a website, what it does when a client goes and visits, says, let me look at the website, let me see if it's legit. Same thing do with your business card. Let me see your business card. If you're a legit business, show me your business card, and then I'm gonna judge you based on this business card.
And the website can expand more.
Yes, after that. And so obviously this is a little different when you talk about e-commerce website, when you're talking about you're creating a vehicle to sell from. But when it's general, like you have, just traditional businesses, it is your modern day business card. But as you know, you come from the world of business cards, your business card matters. One, you got to have one. You can't have one. You can't say you don't have one.
So you got to have that website.
Yeah, a lot of people don't have the website, right? And then you have the people that have the website, they build themselves, but that's the same person who has a business card, but it doesn't look professional. And you're trying to do business with somebody, going to look at that business card and says, I ain't even gonna hold on to it.
He used the cheapest ink he could.
Yeah, exactly. So
that stands out.
It makes a difference. So those are your two options. You can try and build it yourself, or you can hire a professional to do it. And typically speaking, what happens when you hire a professional, it costs more, obviously, because you're hiring someone to do it instead of you doing it. And then oftentimes the systems are set up to where you have to continue to pay that professional in order to have your website up. So it means that it's not just a one-time transaction, that you're constantly paying them monthly for some type of service to have your website up. And so for us, we wanted to create a solution that is kind of the hybrid between the two, which means for us, we build custom websites. So you're having a designer build a custom website for your business, but we build it in such a way that we can hand over ownership as well as all of the editing capabilities to you. So we create tutorial videos afterwards, but we build websites that are very, very intuitive, which means that at the end of the day, you would think if I click into this field and I want to change the picture, that's how it should work. Well, that's exactly how we build it to work. If I want to change the text, I should click it and change the color or change what it says. That's exactly how it works. So everything that we build, even though it's custom built and we can build anything that you can imagine, we can build it for you. We do build it in such a way that afterwards, if you want to in-house it and don't have that monthly expense after the fact, you're able to do that. And that's one of the things that we were really, really big on with creating the website solution, is saying, hey, we want to create a solution for business owners that empowers them again. It says, hey, you can pay for your website, just the cost of us building your website, and then we'll train you, give you additional support, help you all the way through the process. And you could in-house all the maintenance for your website. Given you can still hire us to do that if you so choose to do, but you now have the power to choose versus the traditional way where you pay a website provider who's building your website, and then they kind of backdoor everything. And like the moment that you're like, hey, I don't want to pay the fee anymore, it's like, well, you ain't got no website anymore.
That is very true with that. And so I picked up two important things about you talking about the website. For one, we do need one. If you're in business, we need one. And then I think this the about you story, that some people want to know a little bit about you to even decide that they want to engage in you. So you mentioned the photography as well.
Yeah.
And, I guess Apple, I own an Apple phone. So they say Apple and the Samsungs take all the great pictures. So when you say photography, like, is this the next level up?
So I will say that it's not about the tool, but the person whose hands it's in. So if I have an iPhone and I take the picture, it's going to be a good picture because I know how to compose the picture. I also know how to edit the picture afterwards. So it's going to be a better picture than the average person who just has a phone in their hand. So
I'm the average person.
Yeah. So if it's a phone in your hand, it's going to be a phone. If it's a camera in my hand, it's going to be a camera. Same tool, same device. It's the same thing. Even with clients, oftentimes I remind them of that, because we do specialize in creating solutions, and they often will says, and I'm a very transparent person, and I also like to establish expectations. So I always tell them, I create the hammer and the nails, but you got to build the house. So it's very hard for me to convince you that I'm a better web designer than every other web designer, because that's the same thing as me telling the contractor, this is the very best hammer. It's like, it can be a very good hammer, but
I like that analogy. You can provide the hammer and the tools. You're providing this great atmosphere for me to do the podcast, but you got to build your content. Yeah. You got to say what you want, Mr. Harris, for your podcast. You got to speak which is your voice.
Yeah.
You're trying to find your voice, and it's going to take more than that one practice. It may take you a while, but still, I'm giving you the tools you need to at least get it out there.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with your services that you're doing. You're finding solutions to our problems, and whether we like it or not, this is part of the world now we live in.
Yeah.
And for me, being a much more mature older guy, it was just such a great blessing, because in my peer group, man, you know how to do all that stuff these kids be doing. And it's like, well, no, I'm holding up. And some people say, man, you can just use your cell phone and get started. Yes, but then all of a sudden, boom, solutions came. And they came through talking with Dynasty Solutions. And you've been a great asset to me. And I can't wait to see the growth of the Gainesville Podcast Studio. Mm-hmm. And I'm the first test baby with Common Hood. And Common Hood is going to be, we just trying to empower everybody. We just want to put out a positive vibe, but yeah, keep it going about what's going on in the world and make it as relevant as possible to the average listener. And through the collaboration that we're having, I'm expecting great things for Dynasty Solutions. Yeah. Just like you told me that if I work with you, you're going to turn a profit margin with your podcast. Yeah. I'm going to make sure that we take care of Gainesville, and then we may expand out. Then one day, instead of us chasing a celeb might come to Gainesville to say, what are you guys doing this way? It's like, it's not what am I doing, it's what we did.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm liking, the we. Two brothers getting together, trying to bring something in an area that most people run away from. And I don't know about you, but when I graduated, a lot of people left the area for better opportunities.
Yeah, a lot of my friends are no longer here. So before getting into the digital media space, I was a musician. I'm still am a musician, and so that's where I met my friends. All my friends were musicians. We did gigs, all that stuff. And it's funny now when I meet. So I deal with a lot of churches doing a digital media. And a lot of them will ask for, do I know any musicians, stuff like that. There was a time that all I knew was musicians, but like now, all the friends that I had that still do music, ain't none of them here anymore. Everybody left. Just like you say, you're chasing that next opportunity. Because it wasn't necessarily here, which, is a great pivot for me to bring up a story that what makes me resonate with you so much. I remember when I was in college and I had this English teacher and we had this assignment. I never forgot it because it was very impactful in my life. It's like we had to take a quote, we had to find a quote, and then we had to write a paper on it. And so I'm looking up quotes, and this may not be verbatim of what it says, but this is what the quote was. It was like, if there's something in the world that you wish exists, you be the one to create it. So it resonated with me, and I've literally taken that in everything that I've done, which, like I said, with the websites and everything else, I was solving a lot of solutions for my own self. Like when I first started my business.
Going on a while.
Yeah. When I started my own business, I needed a website.
Right.
And those were my two options: build it myself or hire someone to build it. And at that time, to hire someone to build it in Gainesville to find someone local is between $5,000 and $10,000. And I was building a music business, so I didn't have that type of money. So that forced me to learn how to build a website and go through the ugly trash website and do revision until I was able to make something good. Start something good. So once again, at that time, I wish there was an affordable solution that didn't cost me so much money or didn't cost an additional overhead every single month so I could really focus on my business. So when I got an opportunity that I could create it, I created Dynasty website. Same thing with the video production, the podcast studio. Everything that I've created was just one of those things where it started off with me saying, man, I wish that existed for me. And then I remember it's like, well, if it does not exist, it's on me to create that thing. And so what resonated with me, and to talk about what it was, is I remember, after meeting you 2 or 3 times, sat in your office and you said, hey, Nee, listen, nobody did anything for me when I was coming up. Nobody reached their hand out to help me out. He's like, but I see you working hard. And he's like, I'm going to do that for you. And that's what resonated with me, because like that was the first time that I saw that being done for someone beyond myself, saying, hey, this did not exist. Like when I was coming up, like from you, it's like when I was coming up, and one of no hands reaching out trying to help me build.
It's not. I had a great parents, my mother and father, and my 3 siblings and my sister.
So I'll clarify, like strangers.
Yes.
For a complete stranger
to reach out and help me, never had that done. I'm still waiting for that stranger.
Oh yeah.
I'm still waiting on that stranger. But my thing was the energy that you gave and the passion. I saw myself in your shoes of being young, and I was like, if you're in a position to do something and this person is willing to help you, why not take the chance to see what's going to happen and let the fruit bear? Just learn to listen. It's like with anything else. It's not, I don't want to make it feel like I have all the answers because I have a few great sticks here. It's just listening, because at the end of the day, if I hang out with somebody younger, I'm probably gonna move a little bit faster as a mature guy. And if you hang out with somebody like myself that's a little more mature, through your peers, you probably gonna be moving faster in your set of peers, because guess what? We collabing and we exchanging and we listening. So when I'm hanging out with the great sticks, they're like, hey, you moving kind of fast. Nee taught me this. And if you pick it up and say, wow, your assets growing faster, Nee. Hey, I've been listening.
Yeah. That's a great point of what you're saying. We're right now literally breaking that mold, because that is the stigma that people think. It's like the younger people, we don't listen. The old people, they ain't trying to teach. We're literally we're breaking that thought process, because you're reaching down and you're saying, hey, the knowledge that I have, you're 20 years my senior, you're saying, hey, I'm gonna help speed you up 20 years. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you a lot of this knowledge that we both ain't got to learn the hard way. Whereas like, sometimes that is the thought process. Like these older people, they've gone through these things, and like, I bump my head, you got to bump your head too. It's like, no, we ain't both got to bump our head. Like if one of us done did it, the other one can tell us, hey, don't go that way.
Don't go that way.
And that's where it's important. Like when you're speaking though, as me as a young person, I have to listen. So it's a 2-part. Like I got to respect you enough to listen when you're speaking, and then vice versa, we'll say on the opposite end, like, hey, we got a lot of innovation, we got a lot of things that we want to teach, but old people don't want to move, they're stuck in their ways. Whereas like you're like, hey, change is difficult. But I'm willing to adjust with what I need to adjust with so I can stay in the game. Because that's the thing. You have to realize either if the game is changing, I got to change with it, or I need to move on out the way.
Yeah. And all the stuff that you're doing in the digital space, for me, I did like civil, like social work type jobs, being in the military, working at a prison one time, being a school teacher. And, technology for me just was... And I kind of made the boo-boo and made the choice of, hey, I don't want to deal with it. But as time goes by, you realize, like, I'm getting left out. I'm getting boxed out here. You have to make a change. So one of the things I heard you mention about creativity and just taking something instead of chasing it and going to it, you saying, hey, I can solve this problem here.
Yeah.
Like, it's like your musicians. They're out chasing. And I understand you have bigger markets. Hey, if I was a musician, I'd be like, hey, I'm going to New York. I'm going to Atlanta. I'm going somewhere because it's not here. But for those that create that here, it's going to be more impactful, and you're probably going to control it because you're the first one.
Yeah.
You have better control of it and probably make more volume for as all the benefits of you having full control. And I think that's what Dynasty Solutions is doing here for this area, and that's what Dynasty Solutions is going to do with my podcast called Common Hood.
Yeah.
That we're going to help build each other up, and hopefully it'll be a platform where we'll be able to provide great services and great platform and guideline for others to come up. And when I think about the collaboration of the youth and the old, I don't hate to use the word old, but it is what it is. Mm-hmm. I really was talking about this idea, spinning in my head for about a year. I have my brother Mike, who he loves social media, and he had been telling me, "Hey, push yourself out." But I'm like, financial services. Okay, I do a little life insurance on that stuff boring. It's already hard to interview. The people with money is excited because they got stuff they got to protect. Yeah. They have stuff that they got. They have stuff to protect. But this on the average, I just didn't find that niche. But over the course of time, listening and seeing other great podcast shows that I like to listen to, I was like, I don't think this voice that I want to talk about is not there. And like I say, that biggest fear of taking that step, that creativity, you say, creating your own, I must say it came through you saying, hey, I got your fears. So you was the solution to my problem. Yeah. Just like Dynasty Solutions is going to be a solution to a lot of people's problems that are out there that's in that space. Everybody can be I can try to do it all, but in this case for me at this stage, it's just better for me to link with you at this point to, hey, as he mentioned, anything that he's doing, he's willing to teach you a class so you can go learn it yourself. But if you don't, the old barter and exchange rules.
Yeah, I'm a huge proponent. I do this with every client, everyone I work with. I want people to be empowered. So we create solutions that empower you to have choice. Now, if that choice is to use us to provide the service, cool. But I just want you to have the choice and not take that away from you. And so that's what we do with each one of our clients across the board with any solutions that we create, even with a podcast. We create it in such a way where it's like, hey, you have control over it. But we're going to make it make sense where it's like, hey, I would want to use you and use your services because this makes the most sense for me to do it versus one of those things where you're forced into it. It's like, hey, I really like the product and the service, but man, I wish I could go a different direction. With us, it's like, it reminds me of, I think it was Master P that said this one time in an interview. He was talking about with artists. It's like, if I sign an artist,
that Master P.
Yeah, he said if I sign an artist and they don't want to be with me, he's like, I just rip up the contract. He's like, because ain't gonna make no sense for me not liking you and you not liking me. He's like, ain't gonna be good for nobody. Right. So it's one of those things that I think about proactively rather than being reactive in those ways. Like, hey, let me create solutions to where it really empowers my client and they have the choice. Do you want to continue to work with us after we build it for you, or do you want to go in a different direction? It's your choice.
It's
and
your
we're
choice.
We're gonna respect either one you want. And when you have that choice and they choose us again, then I know that the relationship can continue to grow and continue to build. Or they says, hey, you helped us as far as we needed you to help us at this point, and we want to go this way. Cool. Because once again, and I say this to all of the people on my team, I says, we're in the business of relationship building. Like it's not just providing services or building websites, doing photography. I was like, that's not the exchange that we're in. We're in the exchange of building relationships, because I can always leverage a relationship. So if I got to figure out how can I provide value in service to what it is that you need, in exchange be able to have relationship with you that I can then leverage for whatever it is that I need later on in this journey. So
Right.
so when you take that perspective, at least for me, it becomes very, very freeing, because I never have to do transactions by what do I get from you first. I'm always first, like, let me add value first. Like, let me give you so much value in your life and what it is that you're doing.
Can't help but reciprocate.
That you want to reciprocate and says, hey, man, I ain't got everything I needed. Is there anything I can do for you? Now that you mentioned it.
Now that you mentioned that, well, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So everyone that's on my team, I kind of train them in the same way as like, let's go against the grain and what the world teaches us. Like, hey, go get yours first. Like, no. Value added first. Like, if you're going to do business with someone, figure out what their problem is, figure out how you can create that solution for their problem and add the value in their life. Don't even ask for nothing at this point. Just simply do that and see if they're willing to say, all right, now that you help me, can I help you? Because then you guys can work in a way that's going to be conducive for growth. Because I don't want to force you to work with me.
Right.
And you don't want to be forced to choose me.
Right.
It's never going to be good.
It kind of goes back to the old business rule. If you want to get rich, solve a problem.
Yeah.
Solve a need that society needs, whether that's a local need or internationally. Of course, the bigger, more people you can serve at one time, the better the results are to you. But that is the key.
Yeah.
We take these cell phones. It's like, wow, who created the cell phone? And I've kind of seen the involvement from, I can remember the pages. You're going from pages to big phones to now. It used to be a cool thing just to have a cell phone in your car, pulling with the long string in the car, and then all of a sudden there was an explosion. Everybody have one, but it saw the need that it made it better for communication.
Yeah.
So, and that's what you're doing through your many platforms within the one house of Dynasty Solutions. Meaning, hey, you want to start a business, you need to brand yourself. I can help you with that.
Yeah.
Website, we can help you. Cameras, we can help you. Video production, we can help you. Conducting seminars, we can help you. So there's a lot that you're providing as value, and I'm so glad to be connected and engaged with you in order for me to, work on my little similar brand. I hope I'll be an inspiration to others that have a voice on whatever that voice may be for you. Everybody going to choose their own different lane, and you have to put in that work, in which I'm going through that particular phase as well. I don't have my other co-host here, John Me, but I'm looking for us to do great things here with you in Gainesville, Florida. And let's just go from beyond. Like, Atlanta didn't become the Mecca overnight.
Yeah.
But they put in the work.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, New York. They stole it. They earned it.
Yeah.
You're looking at what's going on with the Tyler Perry Studios, and now
50 got his.
and 50 Cent now. So, that's huge what they're doing. It's like Hollywood have to pay attention.
Oh, yeah.
But I can remember the Wayne brothers tried to start that before. So foundations are being laid, and I say that because I feel like that's what's going on now. There's a foundation that's going to be laid, and we already have the foundation. Now the building blocks are getting started. So with the Common Hood podcast being ran through with Dynasty Solutions, you just look for great things to be coming in the future. So I'm so glad to have this moment with you. This is another moment through Common Hood. And Neve, they need to find you.
Yeah. So you can visit our website at dynastysolutions.net, or if you're interested in coming and starting your own podcast, go to GainesvillePodcastStudio.com. We'd love to have you here in the studio and help you to be able to produce high quality content for your own branding.
All right. And once again, you have spent a moment with Common Hood. We're located at 2114 Northwest 6th Street, Gainesville, Florida, 32609. And Nee, before you go, man, give them that phone number for those that may want to touch it directly.
Oh, yeah. You can hit the line at 352-363-0635. Go ahead and text or call.
Text or call Dynasty Solutions and get the job done. If you have a big vision, come to my man, Nee. Let him solve your problems. If you're older G like me, don't let the technology stop you from reaching your goals. Come with G, come with Nee, and we all learn together on what it takes to get to the next step, because that's what I'm doing. Nee got me hey, Mr. Harris, you got to get your podcast together. You got to get your website. I'm doing your editing. And it's like, But it's cool. I'm all learning, and I plan on making Common Hood a great relationship through Dynasty Solutions. This couldn't have been a greater moment for me. It's just like taking on a new challenge for me, kind of it's really a new challenge. Like, okay, I can be the next Brian Gumble. I can create my own platform, and that's what Nee put in my head through Dynasty Solutions, that you can create your own platform.
Yeah, and that's super important. Yeah, like you said, having your voice and being able to establish your own platform, it's really, really important, because you get to grow your audience as well as grow your brand and be able to leverage that in other areas, in places where it matters to you. To give you an example, right? Let's say I really care about social justice, right? So when in this world of digital media, you have two ways of building your audience, two effective ways, in my opinion, not the only way to skin a cat, but two effective ways: education and entertainment, right? You choose one of those two.
Let's just say it gets more entertainment than anything.
Yeah. So choose one of those two. Like, let me add a lot of educational value, or let me be highly entertaining, right? And be able to capture people's attention with that. Once I capture their attention, let me have enough substance that they will stay and want to be a part of my community, and you continue to grow that community. And you get these people that may have only come for the educational thing or the entertainment, but you get them to care about things that you care about. And that's what creating your own platform and having your own brand really means. Like, you start to care about the same, or your community begins to care about things that you care about. It's the same thing with the family, right? I can't live in the same household as you, and you really, really care about the toilet paper being over and not under, and I not feel that, because every single time it's the wrong way, you gonna say something, you know. So when I'm a part of your community, or I'm a part of your family, the things that matter most to you, they then become something that matters to me, and that is really, really powerful, because it's all about the unity.
Well, you know, one thing about it, this world is designed for us to live together.
Oh yeah.
So, and building that community is part of the thought process of coming up with Common Hood. Like, we all have something in common, and we all have our hoods in different pockets. It may be your local neighborhood. It may be your Gainesville. You know, I like when you see. I love the hip hop community, but I like when they say they're representing their area. That's that Common Hood.
Yeah.
You and a business client, the CEOs together, that's their common place. You know, you go on your job and you have the environmental service team, you have your human resource team. All those things are common within their little small pockets of hood. Yeah. And that's what this platform is allowing me to be able to tap into the hood. They may have a similar vision than me. Are you going to please everybody? Nope.
Impossible.
But will you please some? It may be one, it may be two, it may be three, it may be four, or it may be bigger than you ever envisioned. And right now, that's where it's at.
Yeah. The crazy part about it, and a lot of people may not be aware of it, and may not just be right in your face, but when you take that step and say, hey, I'm going to start a podcast, or I'm going to share my opinion on something, and you're not really worried about who it is that you offend, be respectful, but don't worry, be driven by just not trying to offend people, but you're really just sharing your truth. What it does is it draws other people who have that commonality. It says, hey, I that resonates with me. I think the same way. And you actually find your community simply by standing out and saying, I think like this. I believe like this. This is the way I feel about a certain thing. You're going to find other people that feel the same way. And you get to have a community.
I think you mentioned the third leg. I know you mentioned the education.
Yep.
And I know you mentioned the entertainment. Mm-hmm. But speaking your truth.
Yeah.
Speaking the truth on what you see. And that truth, and I think more people are looking for that now with what's going on in the world today. It seems like the world is kind of heated a little bit, a little chaotic, but people are seeking that truth. So if you can share some things that are truthful, no matter what lane, it may be truth photography. It may be truth how to do basket weaving.
Because there's a community out there of people, and they may not have their group yet. You might be the person who establishes that group for them, that says, hey, I'm starting it, but you're creating a space where people can come and continue to share continue the conversation, I should say.
Correct.
Right. You're starting it, but you're creating a space where people can continue the conversation, and you get to be a part of it.
Well, I heard you mention using the analogy of the hammer and the tools. So if I keep hammering.
Oh, yeah. You build it, they'll come.
That's the whole key.
Yeah.
So we are going to keep building. Dynasty Solutions are here. And Dynasty Solutions, once again, is working with Common Hood. Common Hood will be dropping moments with you guys a whole lot in the future. Once a week, we're starting out. We're trying to air every Thursday to give you some content so you can chew on it a little bit over the weekend before that dangerous work week start. Once again, thank you for sharing a beautiful moment with myself, co-host Simon P., and my man Nehemiah, my business partner here in Gainesville Podcast Studios. And if you want a chance to shout out, he gave you his number. He gave you that time, and if you, by any chance, want to come through Common Hood and be a host, join us as a co-host. I have a issue that you would like to discuss. Hey, we are open ears. So go to commonhood.com, and I could be reached at 352-494-2231, but I prefer a text first because I don't know if you're a spammer, and I may not listen to you immediately. I have my program already with my contacts who I'm going to talk to. So I'm only going to give that number out one time. That's my personal number. That's it. You'll never hear it again. But text first. And this mention, I want to join Common Hood. We out.
We out.